At this point, it provides you with a few default options that you're welcome to use, or you can simply replace them as you see fit. You'll notice here on the left that you are given several options that you can use. You could add text to this if you want. So, for example, if you wanted to create an infographic with interactive elements, this is something that you could use. You can also add extra images to the presentation by selecting the image button and then following the same process that you did before. If you would like to dress up the image itself, you can choose selected things that they have available for you, like a phone screen, and you could put your image inside of the screen of the phone to increase visual stimulation. They have several other options as well, but today we are going to be focusing on the interactive elements, as this is what will interest most of you the most. So for these interactive elements, you have a couple of options. First, the replace button. The replace button allows you to select an icon that you feel is fitting for the information that you want to convey. So for example, if you want to pose a question to your students, you could select the question mark, hit replace, and then drop the question mark where you would like it to appear. So once you have done that, I suggest you make it sized accordingly. And then if you want students to interact with it, click on this icon that looks like a finger clicking on something. After you've done that, you have a couple of options for what you can add to this. The first option we will be discussing is the tooltip option, as this will probably be most useful to many of you. After you've selected tooltip, you can name the element to give it a sort of title of its own. If you click the information icon, you will see that this allows you to keep a simple way to track which icon accomplishes which thing. So if you return to edit this later and you want to sort through a lot of elements, this is a good way to keep track. So for this one, since we left it by the author's name, we will title it Author Question. In the space below, you can then pose a question or add a comment to a student. In this situation, since I'm using the question icon, I will ask them a question. What other books has Neil Schusterman written? Have you read any of them? We will see what that final product looks like once we're done looking at some of our other options. For our second icon, we're going to bring that to the title, and we will use the window option in order to add more detail or more information to a student. So first, let's click an icon that is representative of what we want to include. In order to give a digital sample of books, we want to find a way to represent that appropriately. So if we look through our options here, let's just click this, as it seems to indicate a fair amount of text. We'll replace. And then we will click the option to show what will show up when they want to. Because we're adding more text, we're going to use the window option in order to make all the text visible at once. So the name of the element will be book info. And then in this case, I've copied some of the information about the book in order to operate as sort of like an advertising blurb if any students are interested in reading it. So we'll paste that in. Here's all the information that we want for that, and then we can simply click Save. Again, we'll see the final product in a moment, but we can resize this how we want in order to make sure that we're not taking up too much or too little space. We want it to be noticeable, but not in the way. To give you a quick sample of some of the other options here, you can see that they have buttons with text if you want something specific, if it's applicable to the kind of product that you are creating. They have markers, which are very similar to what we have been using. If you are doing something that involves a map, maybe for geography classes, could be extremely useful. There is an option here for social networks. There's a variety of logos that you might be able to link to. So for example, if you want to link to a video, you can select the YouTube option. For numbers and letters, keep it simple. So for now, we'll use this sort of generic logo here. And then this will be our more info option for our students. We'll just bring this down here. And we will use the link option so that we can paste a link that will open a new tab to take the student to the Wikipedia page for Scythe if they want to get more information about the book.